Hey, Rich Jason, welcome to another Marvel vs. System two-player card game. This is Children of Lilith. So as of the time this is coming out, this is listed as an Upper Deck store exclusive. So it's the first time I've really seen that before, so I don't know if it's a limited time exclusive or if it's a permanently exclusive there. It's the beginning of year 6 or volume 6, it's issue number 1. But it does not sound like they have more planned after this. Because usually they say in the little instruction sheet it says like set 1 has this, set 2 has this, set 3 theme this. This just has Children of Lilith, doesn't have anything else listed. So I don't know if this is like a one-off like little arc or if they're gonna jump into like other things that related to this. But yeah, it's gonna be definitely so we're gonna get some interesting new stuff in here. Some Defenders and some Underworld are two big ones. I put it at the side. A new upcoming issue from the Versus system comes with a dark prophecy and apocalyptic new characters with horrifying powers. They are the goddess of the underworld and her children. With hundreds of combinations, upgradable characters, and skills, the ability to build a unique version of your deck, you'll choose how to use little children with their horrifying powers. Interesting way to word that. So one thing to point out before we get too far into this is we have good versus evil. Many affections is refer to a good or evil character. A good character has a good team, such as Avengers, Defender, X-Men. Evil team has evil teams such as the Brotherhood, Underworld, or the Masters of Evil. So yeah, most of them are pretty self-explanatory on which is a good or evil team. Although it's like, yeah, you can get some like ones that are sort of like, is the Brotherhood really evil for the purpose of this? Yes. If for some reason you ever playing against the photographic universe, those are even easier to tell because they're either H for hero or V for villain. So it's a lot easier to tell. Alright, let's hop into this. We'll refer to the sheet as needed. We have one main character in this set. So we have Lilith, who has some stars because there's a Lilith in the Femme Fatales team as well. I don't know if it's the same Lilith character or if it's just another character named Lilith. I have to pull her out and look, but I remember seeing that. The Mother of Lilith. Build, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, put a Lilith from among them into your hand, then shuffle the rest into your deck. So Lilith will be a keyword on the cards. My children will inherit the earth. 5. When Lilith appears on your side, she gets 1 XP. She gets 5 guys out. She can get in there. She can possibly get them pretty quick. Yeah, so this is going to be... She has 69 she levels up to. Then she has create a Lilith. Build. Search your deck for a Lilith, reveal it, put it into your hand. Summon a Lilith. You may put a Lilith from your hand into your side. Absorb Lilith. KO a Lilith at your side. If you do, heal a wound from Lilith and respawn Lilith. Shuffle Lilith from your KO into its owner's deck. So kind of neat. She can keep like finding them, putting them in your hand onto your side for cheaper, KOing them, and then reshuffling them back in. So kind of a neat little cycle to do. Then we're going to jump into our main characters. So there is a lot of... Eventually we start getting a bunch of like 1 per deck characters. When we get to those, there will only be 1 each. But unless I say otherwise, there will always be 4. So you have 4 copies of Meat Market. So these are the Underworld characters. Like Underworld has kind of that weird team because like you can understand someone like we saw like the Brotherhood. They're usually evil mutants. The you get the Masters of Evil. They're kind of like Avenger villains. The Underworld is sort of like the supernatural or sorcery characters, but it's also like the mob. So it's kind of like an interesting mix between them. So yeah, we'll have Lilith on here, which says Meat Market has +3/+3 while attacking a good enemy character. And I believe that 3/3 is going to be the same for all of them. That's what Lilith is going to also mean. So I probably won't reread that every time, just because I think it's the same for all of them. He has Rotting Body. When an enemy character gets KO'd on your turn, you may put 2 1/1 counters on Meat Market. Cool. We have Skinner. So yeah, he has the willing effect too, so he gets 3/3. Razor Sharp Protrusions. Skinner has violent and lethal while attacking a supporting character. He strikes at double his attack, and if he wounds it, KO it. We have Nakota, who has willing and demonic vision. When Nakota appears, look at enemy hand and choose that supporting character. There, that player discards that card. Fang, Formless Mass. Can't be struck while melee attacking. Gok, who has a Willen. They're all, of course, Willen characters. Cutting and creating. When Gok attacks, put a 1/1 counter on him and a -1/-1 counter on the defender. Blackout. Oops. Lights Out. When Blackout appears, you may gaze an enemy character or turn an enemy location face down. Ooh, the location thing's really mean. Then we have Creed. Willing and separate body parts. When Creed gets KO'd, you may put a copy of him from your hand onto your side. And then finally, we have Pilgrim. Mystical Portal. Willing on your side can attack protected characters. So this is kind of an interesting little, this is like the first half of the deck, and it's all the willing characters. It's very interesting because, like lots of the other sets, it's like, oh, we have this, and eventually we know they're going to come back to those characters. Now, granted, these can work with any other Underworld characters, so you can add them to your decks and mix and match if you just like their abilities. But since a couple of their abilities refer to like Lilling, or the Lilling top thing doesn't matter, but if you're going to play as her, she's not going to have a lot of extra options outside of these cards. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 of them. But until we get to maybe like the next year's crossover set at the end of this year, unless they add like 1 or 2 more in there, which usually if they do a crossover like that to refill teams, it's only 1 or 2 at most, usually 1. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get any more Lilith characters. There might not be any other Lilith characters for her to use, so this might be one reason why this is an Upper Deck exclusive, because it might be like, hey, if you need everything, come buy this from us, because it's not going to, like, this part of the deck at least isn't going to mix with everything else very well. But yeah, that's it. This, again, they can still be used as Underworld characters. The Lilith effect still works, as long as you're fighting a good enemy. But that can also be very limited as well, depending on who you're fighting against. Alright, then we're going to head into the Defenders. So these are basically the characters that fight off against these guys. Lots of them are, I don't know if they specify what group they're from, but yeah, they're like the Demon Hunter type characters from the game, so they kind of fit in like Defenders, which is like a mismatch of random characters thrown together. So a bunch of these are one of a kind, so they kind of work like the support characters we've seen before, where it's like a lesser known character that we're going to throw in. They're going to have like a very specific effect for helping out like usually the main character. These are going to have kind of a similar thing like they're just going to be for evil characters generally. So Lewis Hastings has Occultist Archaeologist. When Lewis appears, draw a card or shuffle an evil character in each enemy KO pile into its deck. Yeah, so I can kind of deny them. We're going to get Samson Buchanan. Improved Exorcist Gun. When Samson stuns an evil defending supporting character in ranged combat, remove it from the game. Then search its owner's deck for each copy of that character and remove them from the game. Victoria Montese, Occult Family. When Victoria appears, you may search your KO pile for the Montese formula spell, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Victoria can cast the Montese formula, ignoring its restrictions. So we do not have that spell in here. So my guess is that was probably part of one of the earlier Defender sets. So yeah, I might stop for the end of the video. I might jump back and see if I can find that really quick, just so we can see what it does. We have Francis Drake, engineering of violence. When Frank appears, she's an evil enemy supporting character with a superpower and stunning Nightstalkers. So you have an extra keyword, kind of like the bad guys had Lilith. Nightstalkers on her side have dodge. Hannibal King. Detective work. When Hannibal appears, you may look at an enemy's player's hand. Nightstalkers on your side have rage. You guys can all work together with the other Nightstalkers. As you get more and more of them, they're going to gain a bonus that way. And then we have some regular characters that have 4 copies of each. We have Morbius, so we have 4 of him. Ferocious during melee combat. Morbius strikes before any character is out ferocious. The blood of the guilty. When Morbius tails an evil defending character in melee combat and survives, put a vitality counter and 3+1/+1 counters on him. We get Blade, who will have preserving the boundaries between. When Blade appears, put a 1/1 counter on any number of good characters and -1/-1 counters on any number of evil characters. He has Nightstalkers as well. Have martial arts that +2/+2 in melee combat. We're going to get Johnny Blaze, aka Ghost Rider, Hellfire Shotgun. When Johnny strikes an evil defending front row supporting character from his front row, disperse it. It loses its powers and remove it from the game. And then finally we have just Ghost Rider, but he has the asterisk or those stars, so he's a different version. Demonic durability, can't be struck in combat, and Mystic Chain. With Ghost Riders attacking, enemy characters can't gain defend or +1/+1 counters. He's a 13/1. Crazy. Yes, this is kind of neat. So the other half of the deck has a bunch of defenders, so if, like, yeah, if you don't want to play with the Lilith stuff, you might pick this up for the defender half. A lot of them, they'll have stuff kind of like, again, they're versus just evil characters. So if you're playing a good bad deck, great, they're going to work really well. But if you're playing against another heroic team, because again, other players, especially in like tournaments and stuff, can pick anything. That might not be, it might shut down a bunch of the effects on here. So again, this could be very limited for some of that stuff. But again, it always has uses. I'm going to check out what that spell is quick, just because it has that specific thing. It's into the darkness issue, so I'll check that really quick. So 1 sec. Alright, so I went and looked this up quick. This is again not part of this particular set. This is part of the Into the Darkness issue, which had a couple other like Blade and Ghost Rider stuff, had some spells, a little bit of Defender things as well. Also interesting to note, in that set, it also did have some more Nightstalkers, but it was Hannibal King and Francis Drake, but they were characters you had 4 copies of instead, so they could work, but you wouldn't be able to have this version out and the other version. But yeah, it's kind of neat that that'll sort of theme back in with that one as well. I did kind of do a quick look to see if any other characters in there just happen to have Lilith in them. I didn't see that at all. I didn't see any other characters Nightstalker, so they didn't have too much other than that. But so yeah, here's the Montesetti formula, which will work with this spell. Says one of a kind, has a blue spell. So normally you have to have a character that's a spellcaster to be able to use it, but she gets to use it for free if I can figure out where I put her. Yeah, so she says she can cast it ignoring play restrictions. She doesn't have to have pay to use it. You only play 1 if the dark hole is on your side. Again, you can skip that. Main, choose a keyword, power, and stun each enemy supporting character at power. If you choose a character's vampire's name, KO that character instead. So yeah, this is to help take care of the vampires that have like Deacon Frost and stuff. The other set, this essentially lets her, if you get the set, you can combine it with her. It lets her basically get rid of all the Lilith very quickly. So that's a really neat idea. At least, or stun them, I guess. It doesn't and stun each character at power, because they're not vampires. But that's kind of cool that we have a callback from another set, which is really neat. Yeah, there are others. Yeah, so Blade, Frank Drake, and Hannibal King also have that. Awesome. So yeah, there is our things. Yeah, if you're a fan of Ghost Rider, this is probably a good set for you. It has some good Ghost Rider enemies and Ghost Rider characters. A couple of new defenders, just to add for some little bit different stuff if you like that. A little bit of focus on the good evil. The Lilith stuff might not work for you again because a lot of the Underworld stuff tends to be either some supernatural characters or it tends to be like mobsters or assassins. So they're kind of like a mixed batch for theming wise, but yeah, sort of an interesting, neat idea. I don't know if they're planning on this is going to be like a weird one-off set, or if they're going to have more, because it is called Children of Lilith. Usually the top is like something different. It's like, cosmic powers or the family set or into the neighborhood. And that means it's like, okay, the sets are going to be Spider-Man or Fantastic Four theme. Call it Children of Lilith makes it seem like, are we going to get 2 other issues in here that are also Lilith sets? Which could be kind of weird because we already have a bunch in here, but maybe they're going to add a bunch more. Not really for sure. Maybe their next set's going to be like Midnight Suns and it's going to tie into that, but then they could just call the overall set Midnight Suns. I'm not really sure. So we'll have to see. Again, it was listed as Upper Deck exclusive when I purchased it. Does not mean it's going to always stay exclusive. It might hit retail. It might be a limited time thing. Might only be available there. Might be kind of like a one-off, one-shot thing. Not for sure on that. They didn't do previews or anything, so I can't say they didn't really talk about it. It just kind of appeared. Hope you guys have been enjoying the Versus videos. Check out all the previous ones if you haven't. Check out that Into Darkness set if you want to see more things that we theme with this. See you guys later. Bye.